Hello and welcome to an Aberystwyth special of For Wales See Wales. I'm Mel Owen.
I'm Robin Morgan.
I'm Will Hayward.
Thank you so much for having us, Aberystwyth. I obviously come from here, best place in the world, and it made sense for us to bring the next live show here, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We've done South Wales, we've done North Wales, we've now done West. We will never go East.
What is East? Where would we do it?
I think it's Lincolnshire.
Yeah, the Newtown bypass.
That's it. Yeah, the big Morrisons.
I love how people who actually listen to this podcast will have no idea about the Lincolnshire joke.
Yeah. Well,
there will be things in this episode you don't understand.
Yeah, and that's fine because we want to ostracise people who don't come to the live shows.
You could have come.
This is a cult and you need to come to the live shows. It is a little bit like a cult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's a cult in a nice way?
We'll all start chanting at one point. What that chant's going to be, who knows?
Yeah.
We'll all feel it. It will feel right at the time.
It will be great. It'll be wonderful.
Yeah.
Has anyone been with us since the very start? Did you listen to like the early episode? Who's that?
One person.
God, so you've had a lot of Hello Starling. And Lion Containers and ACT.
Yes.
Big
all
up
the sponsors.
ACT.
Yeah.
Big up Oxfam.
Yeah, Oxfam as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had
not
some lovely sponsors. You've had a lot of us. You've had a lot of Welsh politics. A lot of us at the start, not really knowing what this was ever going to be. I think we gave it a go. We'd worked together once as a three, and then we're like, shall we just do it? And then we did, and now here we are in the centre.
Now we are, and we've hung out with James Evans. It's been a wonderful, wonderful road.
Exactly. A man of his word, you know? A man of his word. So to kick us off in this ep, given that we are in Aberystwyth, I thought I would give you guys a little bit of a quiz about Aberystwyth, just to see who knows the most, yeah? Okay. If these guys are struggling, feel free to shout out. Okay, so there's 5 questions. Now, this was actually, for those of you who are true fans, would have listened to not this Christmas, the Christmas before. This question was in that quiz.
That's a lazy fucking question right in now.
I'm a lazy, right?
Robin won that quiz, as I recall.
Yeah, okay. Which former First Ministers went to Aberystwyth University?
Will, I'll let you go first.
Carwyn Jones.
Carwyn Jones, absolutely. Do you want to guess the second one?
I'll also go for Carwyn Jones.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. One of the second one was First Minister for about 25 minutes.
VG!
Yeah, VG himself, Von Gething.
Wow.
Yeah, both of them came to Aberystwyth Uni.
How long did Von Gething go to Aberystwyth Uni for?
25 minutes.
Yeah. Freshers and out.
There is a lot.
Went to the tip and then left.
There is a lot of green space to dump waste around here.
That is true.
It's beautiful.
Okay, next question. Okay, like I said, I'm a lazy writer, guys. It's on the same theme. Which member of the royal family studied at Aber Uni? I'll be honest, not one of the controversial ones.
Oh. Are they still a member of the royal family?
At present, yes. At time of record. Sausage fingers?
Yeah, sausage fingers.
Yeah.
The king. Yeah.
You mean the king
The
of...
king, yeah, that's what I mean. Not old sausage fingers.
How dare you?
Yeah, it's like this all the time, guys.
He's our special guest this evening as well.
He did. He attended the old college. Anybody who saw The Crown, that's how I found out, to be honest with you.
Did he?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
just did a term, though, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he learned...
Thank you.
Yeah, someone who was there.
Thank you, Camilla, in the audience.
He learnt Welsh.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's all maybe that's all he did while he was here, but he did it in a term. Okay. Who can give me the best summary of the legend of Cantra Gwylod?
Will,
Robin, you
please.
can...
What era are we talking, just so I know about
Oh,
it?
like, I feel like, if anybody else knows, it's like medieval, does that sound? Yeah, ish. Days of yore.
Mate, there's people nodding in the front row. This is well known.
Yeah, yes, this is well known.
Okay.
I can't even Google it because I can't spell it.
Well,
Does anybody else want to help them out, these heathens out? Does anybody know? Yeah. It is beneath the sea. Absolutely. That is the summary.
Is it?
So basically, there was a village right by Borth up here. And, okay, so basically, it was, I want to say under sea level, and it had some sea defences.
Yeah.
And there was, like, a rotation of people whose job it was to, like, watch if there was a storm coming or something and, like, reel the gate up. And then there was, like, a massive rave one night. And everyone was, like, throwing it back at this rave, having, like, a great time. And then they got so drunk that they fell asleep. And then the storm came, wiped it out.
And now it provides water to Liverpool.
Too soon. Wow.
yeah, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you? I was going to make that joke as well. How dare you? I was genuinely about to do
there.
it.
You were teeing up.
I was waiting for it, but I didn't want to interrupt you, Mal, because I'm an ally.
Thank you. Okay. Besides the River Ystwyth, which other river meets the sea in Aberystwyth?
Phoenix.
The River Phoenix. Have you got any? Oh, I only just got it. That's my problem. Anybody know? The Rheidol. Thank you so much. Okay, and the last
I have
one.
got really hammered in peer pressure. I feel like I have to prove my Aberystwyth credentials.
So, the last one. There is a river that flows down Park Avenue with a lovely wooded path, right? What do the town's teenagers call this stretch of river? So I'm just going to draw you it's not going to be on Google, I'm going to tell you that right now. So
What are you going to Google teenagers near me?
Keep it incognito, you know? Control N.
We're sponsored by VPN today.
So basically, right, you've got a lovely stretch of woodland that goes from the centre of town down to Llanbaden, and there's a play park on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side there's a little stretch of river. I assume it's either the Ystwyth or the Rheidol that's flowing. Okay. Now, when I was at school, we had a very specific name for that bit of river. Can either of you guess what it was?
I have no idea. Did you do like teenage drinking and stuff there?
This might give you a clue. We used to call it Chlamydia River.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because basically, Park Run would meet there on a Saturday.
The riddled people of Park Run.
The Park Run would meet there to, get their PBs on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And teenagers would meet there for another sort of PB.
No
Yeah,
way.
of an evening, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Makes the noise if you do Park Run in Aberystwyth?
What if you do the other kind of...
So there we go. That is our quiz of Aberystwyth.
I feel like I know Aberystwyth a lot worse now. Well done, you, madam, for getting the...
Yeah, well, you win, You win.
What do you win? Nothing at all.
No.
You're very, very welcome.
Should we do... We often get comments, but get to the politics, guys. Should we do that now, do you think?
With the politics?
Yeah, if we have to.
Can I just say how nice the murmuration was earlier? Oh, thank you very much. Carry on.
That was a murmuration.
What did you say?
I wanted to say how nice.
Starling.
Yeah, hello, Starling. No, no, it wasn't actually. The murmurations earlier by the pier.
Yeah.
You've seen a murmuration?
I don't think so.
So by the pier, there's loads of starlings in around dusk in kind of late winter, early spring. Starlings will gather together from all around, and they will do a kind of little starling dance, and then they'll all just decide, fuck this, and they'll just go under the pier, and it's incredible. It's really amazing. They do it near. They do it. It's like they're a touring troupe. There's other starlings near Newport Wetlands. It's amazing.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Are you vying for Attenborough's job?
Yeah. Shall we talk about politics?
Please.
Okay, so the last few days I have been in the Plaid Cymru conference.
Ooh.
Mel, you've been to Plaid conferences? Fun
Yes.
times?
Oh, really well-balanced people with great social lives. It's it's a time for everybody to kind of get together, isn't it? And everyone's got a shared interest. I suppose it depends if you've just won an election. Everyone's really happy and it's like a nice celebration. If it's looking a bit difficult, they're probably not as fun. But I imagine, was it a bit stressful right now, or were they a bit like, guys, this time next year?
It was at the ICC in Newport, and there is a real sense there for the first time that they think they're going to do it. But it was, I wouldn't say it was celebratory. It was oh shit. Okay, this is not.
God, now we're going to have to do it.
But what I thought was probably the most positive thing for Plaid was, anyone been to Plaid conferences before? Everyone there is lovely.
Yeah. Was anybody there this weekend? Yeah. Were you there this weekend? There you go. Could have shared a lift.
Oh, hey, right. I think the thing that struck me most was how young the audience was.
Oh, wow.
So
you feel delighted now, don't you? Yeah, you're like, look at me.
It's a youthful lot.
I've been to certain Plaid conferences, and it's my old guys talking about Owen Glendower, at times. And this one it felt vibrant. It felt like there was a bit of a kind of excitement there. And it felt like we could do this. And I think the thing that really summed it up for me was ICC Newport's really, really big. Costs taxpayer a fortune, still does. It's also where Farage does all of the reform conferences, because it's so close to England.
Yeah.
I was talking to people there, and at conferences, you normally have like lobby groups, businesses that buy stands there, they give some money to the party, and then they get to be there and try and influence policy and push forward their kind of narratives or their solutions for kind of cover their policy area. And there was people who couldn't get a stand, who were there, who were like, we tried to get a stand, but there wasn't enough room.
No way.
Plaid would not, that would have been beyond their wildest. They used to do raffles at the Plaid dinner to like raise money. And now like rich people are just trying to give them money. And that is literally, that's not because powerful people have suddenly become massive Welsh nationalists. It's because proximity.
They spotted a winner, right?
Yeah, well, they think they're onto something good.
When did you notice this switch happen? When would you say the last time it felt like a small, fringy kind of thing to now this serious one? I would say 3 conferences ago. So I would say spring last year. Yeah.
Was the first time it felt like, okay, this could happen. But there was still a lot of people. There was Welsh-based organisations which I think had cottoned on and thought, okay, Labour aren't going to do well because everyone could see that except Labour. And they were like, well, somebody's going to replace them. And they thought, well, actually, this is a good time to get on the ground floor of something that could be successful. I hadn't seen people from outside of Wales going there to spend their money. And like normally for journalists, it's like, it's me, it's the BBC, it's someone from Wales Online, it's Adrian Masters from ITV, love him. But this time there was The Independent, there was Politico, there was Sky, there was The Spectator, to do their once a year article on Wales. And
what is Wales?
I mean, it kind of took them aback a bit because they were like, oh God, there's people here.
Do you think, how were like the big dogs at Plaid reacting to this, the big dog? Like, you know, are they like, okay, great, this is good for us, you know, we're getting this exposure, people are here, we're kind of not maybe being taken seriously by people like The Independent and all of that, but like they're paying attention. Are they answering their questions well, or are they going, shit, we should have planned for this?
The most interesting thing is what the people who are going to have cabinet positions if Plaid win are saying, because everything is suddenly quite measured and quite caveated. Suddenly, problems that they've been having a go at Labour for have been really easy to solve are suddenly really, really complicated problems that it's going to take a lot of time to solve.
Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really, it's quite funny that. Do you want to talk about the Rhunicorn speech?
Yes, please.
Is that the document they gave you? Can I have a little look through it, please? I raised an article today about it, and it described it as glossy. In the first paragraph, it described the article.
They described the paper quality before the content.
Yeah, as someone who orders a lot of flyers for my tour, that's a good GSM.
Oh, they spent on that.
That isn't it?
And like, look at the spine as well. That's
you
not
paid
staple.
for this.
That is a solid spine.
That is a very solid spine. You could kill a fly with that.
Yeah. They want to win the election.
That applies to almost everything.
No, the Greens wouldn't do that.
No. Somewhat ironically, Anthony Slaughter would not do that.
He's got the best fucking name,
It's
isn't
amazing,
he?
isn't it?
So good.
I saw, again, not for the pod.
Is there going to be a pod this week?
It's just the music.
Should we talk about politics? No.
Yeah.
It's just,
turns out they didn't.
They didn't do it.
music murmurations. So in the Rhunicorn speech, it was 5,000 words long, which it sounds long, but I have also seen an Adam Price speech.
How do you know it was 5,000 words long? Did they release the text of it?
Yeah, they
It's not like a counter on the screen as he's speaking.
It's a nightmare because they send it to me and then they say, you've got to check this against delivery because he might change stuff within.
Like riff.
But half of it's in Welsh. And I'm trying to check what it, and I don't really.
You don't know if he's riffing.
Yeah, but he might be like just slagging me off.
Yeah.
I don't know. 5,000 words. Not a single one of them was about Welsh independence. None of them. I understand why they're doing it. And when I mentioned that, a few people implied were like, yeah, well, that isn't noteworthy. This election isn't about independence. And it's like, yeah, fair enough. But I did go back and listen to Adam Price's 2022 speech and counted how many times he mentioned Welsh independence or independent Wales. And he did it 29 times.
Wow, in between all the times that he called himself the prodigal son of Wales.
It was also in between them, yeah. So they didn't mention independence, which I think makes sense from an election-winning point of view. I think the other thing they didn't mention at all was the Green Party. And this was the day that the Gorton and Denton by-election had been announced. With the Greens, I think the problem that Plaid have got is if you're Plaid, how do you counter the Green Party? What would you do? So Labour, you go, let Wales down, 25 years of mismanagement, awful, 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 just as bad as the Tories. Conservatives, you just go, Conservatives. How do you counter, if you're Plaid, that's what you do. What do you do if you're Plaid and you want to attack the Greens?
Would the whole, like, farmers, Greens, climate, is that when they could maybe win the farmer vote more than the Greens would, possibly?
Yeah, so I was looking at some of the... So YouGov, there's loads of people who are doing polling on Wales at the moment. It's really hard to kind of interpret it because polling takes kind of refining, and when people come to Wales because they're like, oh, people in London now give a shit about Wales for a little bit, let's do some polls. They often, I think, miss a lot of the nuance with, especially a new electoral system, how people vote differently just naturally in a Senate election compared to a general election. But YouGov, I think, is it's proven in the past to be fairly reliable. But what it shows is that the Greens are doing really, really well in urban areas. So they're picking up a lot of Labour voters in urban areas. They're kind of nothing in, like, rural Wales. It's basically
ironic.
Yeah, basically anywhere that's green doesn't want them.
Yeah.
So if Plaid were to attack them on their kind of, as a perception of being anti-farmer, I think the Greens would refute that. But it wouldn't necessarily move the needle in terms of, because that's not where they're taking Plaid's votes. They're taking Plaid's votes in Cardiff, Newport.
Sure, okay. So that's not where they need to really be fighting them, actually.
Yeah.
Are they worried about that, though? Like, from the people you've spoken to within Plaid, are they genuinely worried about sort of splitting that left-wing vote?
Yeah, some of them really are. So about a year ago, I made a prediction that the Greens would get 4 or 5 seats in the Senate election, and someone really senior in Plaid, not an elected person, said, you've got rocks in your head, there's no way in hell they're ever going to get that. Now, they might not, but they were really quite dismissive of it. They just didn't see them as a threat. Now, they really, really do, because in areas where there's lots of people, the Greens are actually doing quite well. This messaging about this is a 2-horse race, it's us or it's reform, that actually to start with was all about Labour voters and basically saying, like, don't follow your old habit of voting Labour, come to us if you want to stop reform. That is now actually been more targeted at Green voters. Because they want to say to Green voters, oh, you risk letting reform in if you vote for us. And actually, that isn't necessarily true. It depends on how the votes fall under this wonderful new voting system we've got. I think that they really, really are concerned, and they don't really have a counter. So at the moment, their counter is just to basically go, who? Who are the Greens?
Yeah.
Nah, Zach who? One thing I have heard from some people, not on the record, but they've basically said they're not a Welsh-based party. And
yeah, because we had some comments about this. People got very irked, and I dare say they might have been Plaid members, to be honest, who commented, because we said the Greens, or the Welsh Greens. I think we flippantly said, like, the Welsh Greens.
Like we do the Welsh Conservatives, Welsh Labour.
Yeah, you know, and we would, you know, okay, but clearly it's not their actual title. They're the Green Party UK and Wales or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, so
and the Scottish are different again.
Yeah, so they're the Green Party of England and Wales. The Scottish Greens are a separate organisation.
Sure.
So they're actually totally separate. You can make that argument about the Greens, but the thing with the Green Party is they just love being decentralised. They just have this pathological love of having free
range. They love to roam.
They're free range. They just want to cluck around and spread their wings.
Squatting in every home.
Squatting out an egg in every home. When I interviewed Zach Polanski, he was like, "Oh, I actually think it'd be a great thing if the Welsh Greens went off on their own. I think that would be, you know, if that's what they want to do, I'd support that." So you can attack them for that, but I don't think you can argue that the Welsh Greens are this kind of London-based. They've got this London-based oligarchical overlord who is basically dictating. It's not Darren Miller / Mims Davis / Kemi Badenoch who is the Welsh leader. Who knows? But it's a tough thing for Plaid, and I don't know how they're going to get around it.
Yeah, because also the younger vote as well is who they're both targeting. Do you know what I mean? Or they both tend to go towards as well. So there will be a lot of crossover. Yeah.
Young people who identify as Welsh are so overwhelmingly going to Plaid. It's like I spoke to one of the pollsters who's like, we like triple check these numbers. It seemed like, was there just one person who just voted 20,000 times? Like young people who feel Welsh, they're not scared of Plaid. They don't see Plaid as, even if they're not Welsh speaking themselves, they don't have that same kind of reticence to Plaid that maybe older people in Wales might do.
So people in Wales who, like, I know who I'm friends with, and I'm not saying I agree with them, this is their words, not mine, were sharing things on Instagram going, you see, there is an option against reform. This is the narrative. There's some people are going, we want to be anti-reform, we want to be left-wing, and are scared of doing so with Plaid because of certain things that they they fear that they've seen, you know, allegedly. So, you know, that could be a threat to them.
I actually think that from Plaid's point of view, their best bet is just to don't try and like get into a fight with the Greens. It's wasted energy. Like the best thing.
Not worth it.
It's not worth
Leave
it.
it.
You summarised perfectly what I was trying to articulate, Robin.
You're welcome.
Because also I do think that possibly within Wales, they're still the more established name.
Yeah, like,
you know?
if the Greens, and this is so kind of hit and miss, but if the Greens manage to take the 6th seat in loads of places and stop Reform getting that 6th seat, that is unquestionably a really good thing for Plaid Cymru, because the Greens, they'll be so happy to, for want of a better word, get into bed with Plaid, like squatting it. But they will be so happy to do that. They'll so happily be a junior partner because their entire mentality is around collaboration, cooperation. And I think from a Plaid point of view, junior partners always do worse in coalitions. Very rarely do people go, well, I hated what the main party did, but I really like this second bit, the smaller party. If Plaid believe that Reform are the threat that they think they are, yeah, that's a sentence, then actually letting the Greens, not trying to fight them, is probably not the worst thing in the world. I don't think there's any way you can do electoral pacts like we saw in council elections where they basically ran under one ticket.
Yeah. Would the Greens want people in cabinet then?
Anthony Slaughter wants to be Minister for Housing. And I'm not joking, that's not a joke. He really, really wants to be Minister
for a
Housing.
laugh.
No, we spoke to him, didn't we? And we said, like, what would you want to do? And he was like, well, I don't think I'd want to be environment. I think I'd want to do housing because...
Don't really care about the environment. Yeah. Boring.
Climate who?
Climate who?
We said this on another rep because like you predicted it. You said that you would make him Minister for Housing if it was your... I just think what a poison chalice, because he can't do the things he'd actually want to do and then would let down his voters.
It's the perfect crime.
Yeah, true. So he gets to do it, and it's not actually his fault that he doesn't get to do the thing he'd like to do. Mm-hmm. I think it's a mistake.
Can I bring up something about the Greens that I spotted recently? My friend sent me a message. She lives in a borough in Cardiff, and she sent me a flyer that she got through the door from the Greens. Now, it has Zach on it, it has Anthony on it, it has Tessa on it. It also has a quote, both in English and in Welsh. Here's the quote. There is a real chance the Greens could play a role in deciding who forms the next government. Would you like to know who said that quote?
Mr. William Hayward.
Will Hayward. You are on a Green Party leaflet.
Their biggest advocate.
Both in English. I
can't believe I did that quote in Welsh.
You said it in Welsh. Fair play to you, mate.
Brilliant.
It's getting
Welsh
great.
as
Look at
well.
that fucking duo streak. It's really smashed it for you.
You're treiglo.
Mate, unless it's Good Morning Dragon, do you have any... like
Panas.
Panas. Yeah.
I can't even think of the words in English. That's
You're so Welsh now.
How does that... Firstly, do they ask you whether they're allowed to put your quotes on there? And I know the answer is no. And then how do you feel about that?
They don't ask. They don't have to ask. Like, ultimately, the quote is like political analysis that they've used. I personally feel really, really uncomfortable with it because I don't want myself to be on any party's election leaflets.
Yeah.
Because it does feel like them going, Will loves us.
But I'm not being funny. I've probably quoted people who didn't want to be quoted 1,000,000 times in my career. So it's probably...
True, yeah.
And I think the main thing I did was judge the idea that I'm not Laura Koonsberg. Like, no one in Canton or wherever is going to go, Will Hayward thinks this. Like,
yeah, no, they don't.
I think they would, though. I think you're talking yourself down.
Anthony Slaughter might, but like any... Yeah, anyway.
I don't know. For what? I don't know why you're pretending to be humble all of a sudden. Like,
it's good branding.
Yeah, no, but I think they would. I think it's clearly a name that they think is going to convince people.
This is the most uncomfortable I've felt since I stood outside that door waiting to come on to the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Greens were like, let's stick it in size 14 font.
So,
Will hates praise so much, and it's my favourite thing in the world. It's great. It's wonderful.
We actually cut out any praise. Like, it's why they're so... Actually, you're nice to me. But anyway, I really want to talk to you about something which I think has come forth more in this Plaid Cymru conference compared to other ones. One of the challenges that Plaid have now got is they've got really big plans of stuff they want to do, but the problem is it's running into the hard reality of you might not get any more money. When I interviewed Rhun. I was like, so how are you? The Rhunicorn. I'm not calling him Rhun.
Does everyone know why we call him the Rhunicorn? Is there anybody who's unsure? You don't know. It is a deep cut, I'll be honest with you.
It was like episode 4, I think.
So long ago. Basically, I think it was because we were saying that he was propping up Labour, right? Much like... why am I doing this?
We were...
because I don't want to do this.
Weren't we implying that he would be like the third in the bed?
Yeah, you know how some couples get... Oh, he's going to be First Minister and we're doing
Go on. Go on.
Some couples...
This is going to be on the Plaid leaflet.
Oh.
Some couple was like to...
Some couples like to spice
hold up
it
his face.
Some couples like to bring a third in. And those people who come in to a marriage are called unicorns, right? They prop up the marriage, and then we call you coined the phrase Rhunicorn because he's a unicorn. Rhunicorn.
Thank you.
It was a deep cut. We had so many messages going, love the pod. By the way, who's Rhunicorn?
Yeah. It's awkward when we sort of bump into these people at the Senate and we're like, oh, I've been talking shit about you for ages.
I know, we gave James Evan a really hard time when he was kicked out of the Tories, and then we saw him 3 days later in the Senate when we went to...
He ran away.
He did. You were so funny. You were, hi, James. And he was like scuttling down.
So, James, I'll get you later, James. Bye, James.
Yeah. I do forget they listen.
Could I talk to you about the Welsh Reserve, please?
Yeah, please.
Welsh Reserve?
The Reserve? Sorry, that was the worst segue I've ever done.
No, I liked it, but it seemed like you were trying to get us to stop talking about James Evans in the bath. And I will never stop talking about James Evans in the bath.
What bubble bath do you think he uses?
I think he uses matey.
Matey? I don't know what that is. Is it like a bro one?
No. Oh, bless you. No, it's like the opposite of the bro one. It's like, is it like a little toy? Is it like a boy pirate? Yeah, it's like a very sweet...
yes, I know exactly what it's like a pirate in Tesco, and it's like and you take the hat off. Yeah. And
then so on the front you're a conservative, and then you turn it around and you reform on the other side.
Amazing, yeah. Different shade of blue.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, blue sort of like salts in the bath.
Yeah, love that for him. Does he do like little Captain Pugwash song as he's putting it in?
I think so. And he's sort of you got a little boat and he splashes things around.
Yeah, he's got a little duck.
This is why the other journalists don't let me sit with them.
Do you want to talk about politics?
Just a bit.
Yeah, okay. The Reserve. Well, I've heard something called the Welsh Reserve. Tell me more.
So I wanted to illustrate for you guys one of the challenges that Plaid are going to have if they get into government, okay? So when governments get a budget, well, when anyone gets a budget, you work in like a local authority or something, you get a budget for the year. If you don't spend it by the end of the year, towards the end of the financial year, everyone's just trying to get money out the door, aren't they? Because you're like, if we don't spend it, we're not going to get this much next year, and it leads to just awful decision-making at the end of the year, right? So what you do in an ideal world is you let governments, and governments do this all the time, carry over money. So if you are really frugal, or you make good decisions, or you manage to procure something at a much lower price and you have some spare money, you might go, well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that money for next year, and then we can do more stuff. Really, really good thing, really, really important. Wales has the ability to do that since 2016, but it's a very, very small amount. So it's only £350 million. And when your budget is 26 billion, that means that you only can carry over 1.65% of your budget. So really, 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 this is such a segue from the bubble bath. So it's only 1.35% of your budget. Now, in Wales, that is a bit of a nightmare because it means that if Wales does anything really good, like, for example, in COVID, we were much better at contact tracing than England. England spent billions and billions on like Serco, whereas we just said to councils, could you just do that for us? They did it better and we saved billions of pounds. But because that money was spent in England, we then got a really good consequential. So we should be rewarded for, I mean, you'd think the Tories would be like, well, you've done excellent public finance management. You should be rewarded by spending that on other stuff. That's like kind of basic, isn't it? But the problem for Wales is we can only carry over 350. That's total. So it's not 350 every year. That's £350 in total. So if we save £350 million one year and we haven't spent it the next one, we can't carry over anything. But we can also only draw down a small percentage of that 350 million. So if I'm Mark Drakeford, Jesus. If I'm Mark Drakeford and I've got 350 million in the reserve and I can only spend 175 million of that a year. So money that Wales has been given, which is Welsh money, for what UK government has set an arbitrary limit that we can't spend all of our own money. It's absolutely crazy. Now, the problem with this, it came in 2016. and it was frozen. So by that I meant it doesn't increase with inflation, whereas Scotland's does. It's been changed now for this financial year, but for the last decade, Scotland's amount that Scotland can carry over has gone up, 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 up. Wales has stayed the same. So in all intents and purposes, it's gone down. So basically, Scotland has... Oh no, I've lost my notes. Scotland gets 700 million that it can carry over, which is like absolutely outrageous, isn't it? This is a real problem. And it's these sort of things which are part of the problem that Plaid are going to have to deal with, because the very system itself, when they come in, is kind of hamstrings them. And there's one point in here that I really wanted to mention. During the pandemic in 2021, Wales got extra money, as I said, through things like good contact tracing policy and stuff. But we got it at the end of the financial year. So we got it in January. So we got told by the Treasury at the start of January, by the way, you've got, how much was it? You've got £155 million extra that we're going to give you. Fantastic. But if you don't spend it in the next month, we are going to take it away from you. And I remember interviewing the then Secretary of State, David T.C. Davis, and I said, you're the Secretary of State for Wales. Surely, you think Wales should keep its money, because this isn't a favour. This is stuff we have a right to. And he said, I don't see the point of £155 million sitting in a Welsh government bank account. And they wouldn't let us carry it over. So the Treasury took that money back. And there's loads of other examples of this, which I talk about in my book. I think the challenge that Plaid are going to get is that they are going to be going into a system which is really geared up for them to fail. And they're obviously going to be trying to make those supplications to the UK government to say, please, can you change this? Please, can you make this work better? But the problem is the complexity of these things. Like, you're obviously a very intelligent and well-informed audience because you've come and seen our podcast. But getting this sort of stuff through to the wider public is a really hard thing to make. Like, there's not many riots that are driven by a lack of reserved capacity. Like, not many people take the streets over that. Although I think HS2 is an example of how these things can cut through if you hit it hard enough over and over and over again. But I think what we're seeing now with Plaid, I think what really struck me from that conference is that if Plaid are not able to get concessions from the UK government, not just on things like this, but also on stuff like, as we said, HS2, Crown Estate, all of the greatest hits, what they can actually do is quite limited. And I think that has kind of dawned on them. And I think they're really scared that they're going to basically do a Starmer, is that they're going to say to everyone, change is coming and it's here and it's got a horn. And then a year will go by.
Famously something that Keir Starmer did. That's true.
And then a year will go by and they won't have been able to improve things. I'm not saying that you can't make Wales a lot better without more money. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit for things you could improve in Wales, which probably wouldn't cost you the world. But I just thought that as like a microcosm of what I was hearing in the conference was fundamentally quite interesting.
What will be really interesting to see is when we had John Swindog on the podcast, the First Minister of Scotland, when we had Swindog on the podcast, he was saying how much, he really backs Plaid. Obviously, they have a lot of shared interest, this, that and the other. He's really backing his mate Rhun. It'll be really interesting to see when the Rhunicorn has to go, whoa, why is Scotland getting so much more of a better deal than we are again and again if Swindog's going to back him? And you asked him that on the podcast, and he didn't answer because the answer is no. He's not going to say, you're right, actually, we should get less and Wales should get more. Yeah,
Scotland is not going to give up a very strong position it has in terms of how it's funded to enable Wales to have more. His argument was, well, why aren't we just bringing Wales up to where Scotland is? And there is merit.
Yeah, that was a good point.
But for Wales to get the equivalent of what Scotland gets, we're talking a lot more over time than HS2 is worth. And HS2 is I was about to say the unicorn, but I can't even say that. It's the sacred cow, isn't it? That if Wales could get that, it'd be so transformational in so many ways.
Mm.
So how are they going to do it then? Is Rhun just going to have to go on Good Morning Britain every single day and shout at Kate Garraway?
So, well, he literally, when I interviewed him, he said, I am not afraid. Sorry, I didn't give you the credit you deserve for that joke.
Neither did they.
You took it really seriously.
I was like,
no, that's a good point, actually, Robin. Yeah.
No, Robin, he's not going to shout at Kate Garraway. Yeah. When I asked him about it, he said, I'm not going to be afraid to embarrass Keir Starmer. And I was like, get fucking line. Keir Starmer's at the front of that line.
Yeah,
of people embarrassing Keir Starmer. But yeah,
Embarrass him that's iconic. I love that.
I mean, the amount in this first 100-day document, which I have reservations about.
I also just say, like, what a weird thing to say at a time when things are going, I'd say, stunningly poorly for Keir Starmer, as if this is going to be revolutionary. That he's gone. The good days are over for Keir.
He's going to knock Keir Starmer off his pedestal.
Yeah, exactly.
But the amount of times in here, what they say is basically petition the UK government to give us something. Basically, this happens over and over again. I say this, I can't actually.
Petitions famously work, don't they?
Oh yeah, everyone loves an online petition. But like the amount of times within this, they will say, this in the first 100 days, they will begin negotiations with the UK government on consequentials from HS2. I mean, begin, like what? What are you going to say? I'm beginning these negotiations. Take a seat. He doesn't sit. What the fuck happens then? Like, it's
play the long game.
Yeah. He just stays sitting.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to leave. I've got Anthony Slaughter with me. We're not leaving.
What's going to have to be really interrogated, I think, by journalists and by the public with Plaid's offering is that a lot of the big changes they're promising are predicated on getting more money and winning a fight, which Leonard Morgan hasn't won. And I do think there are actually legitimate arguments to think he might get a better deal than the First Minister at the moment would. I think you can make that argument. But it's a very wobbly foundation for your programme of government.
Interesting. William, thank you. I appreciate you.
Would you like to hear the funniest joke from his speech?
It's all I want.
So I think it's quite hard for politicians to be funny.
Yeah.
Because
I hate,
you guys are funny for a living. Why is it hard for politicians to be funny?
Do you know, I think it's the trying to be human element of it, which is so fun.
When you're a horse.
Yeah. When you're a unicorn, it's really hard. No, I don't know. It's hard when it feels contrived or when it feels like, they're gearing up to a big joke, and then it comes. And I don't know. It just feels unnatural,
it's just
I would
out
say.
of context, isn't it? Like, you don't want me and Mel to start doing policy.
No.
I would.
Yeah.
Please.
But there are some politicians who are good at it. And I would say
Theresa May.
Favourite laugh a minute.
Oh,
Get her on What the Week.
She's
come back.
filthy.
Yeah.
Very rude.
When we went to the First Minister in the Senate, before we took the mics on, she was a delight.
Yeah, she was really funny.
She was hilarious, right? And I just hope that if she were to lose her seat, which could happen, that she finds a career in the media, like doing Have I Got News For You, shit like that. I could see her doing it.
Do you know what, like, politicians do just become so much more likeable as soon as they're not politicians.
Yeah, because they don't care anymore.
Like, I found myself, like, laughing along with John Major. Like,
yeah.
How did that happen? Like, he was on, like, being interviewed, and he was, like, quite witty, and I was like, oh, I'm sure you're a cop.
But then sometimes you want to be like, where was this? Because this actually would have been accessible to people trying to get into politics.
Yeah.
But then maybe they can't. The problem is, imagine us at the ballot box. We'd find it so difficult not to, like, crack a dick joke out. Do you know what I mean? We would.
I guess all the heckle put downs, wouldn't it?
Yeah, someone's roaring on the other side. You'd be great.
Guys.
Well, what's the last thing we're doing?
The joke.
The joke, yeah.
And what of Farage's man in Wales, an ex-Tory leader of a London council, Thatcher's own council no less. This man took privatisation to levels even she didn't imagine. When we asked for a Barnett consequential, this isn't what we had in mind. Okay, apparently it wasn't a very good joke.
Oh, because it was Barnet Council.
Well, on that incredible finale.
That is such a niche fucking joke.
Guys, thank you for sitting with us through that podcast. I had a great time.
Really, really fun.
I learned a lot.
Me too, as
I learned
always.
what Matey...
Matey Bubble Bath is. It's our new sponsor. Hello, Matey.
I've been Mel Owen.
I've been Robin Morgan.
I'm Will Hayward.
You've been Aberystwyth.